My name is Anne Boner. I'm Head of Department of Civil Engineering and Construction here at LYIT. So I'm here today now to tell you a little bit about the department and about the courses that we have in the department. Some of the lecturers will talk then maybe in a little bit more detail about their particular disciplines, and I'll just give you first of all a general overview. Right, we're a small department. There's less than maybe 300 students in the department in total. So it means we all get to know each other pretty well, and you spend a lot of time in small groups and doing practical classes, working as teams, working together. You get to know your lecturers well, and you hopefully will have a good time when you come to study here. Right? So in terms of courses, we have level 7 courses and we have level 8. In level 7 we have civil engineering and we have quantity surveying. In level 8 we have fire safety engineering, we have architectural technology, we have construction technology, and we also have level 8 quantity surveying. Now generally there's a progression route from level 7s to level 8, and the courses tend to blend into each other. In first year in particular, a lot of the modules would be common, so even though you might be doing civil engineering, you could be sitting in class beside somebody who's doing architectural technology, and you'd be sharing a lot of classes and modules with them. Right? So I suppose the difference between the courses then is they all are basically a specific discipline, and what I mean by that is they lead to different professions. So on the engineering side we have, as I said, the civil engineering, and we also have fire safety engineering. And on construction side then we have architectural technology, we have construction management, and we have quantity surveying. So I suppose a general difference would be the civil engineering route tends to be an engineering discipline the whole way through, where the emphasis would be more on applications of maths and applications of science, whereas in the construction route you're talking about building regulations, applications of regulations, you're talking about a lot more of drafting and CAD, and in the case of quantity surveying, a lot more measurement and principles to be applied. But obviously there's a lot of blend and a lot of crossover between the different disciplines. I mentioned as well the professions, so all of our courses have professional body recognition. So it's from a wide range of bodies depending on what the disciplines are. So that could be Engineers Ireland, it could be the Society of Chartered Surveyors, it could be the Chartered Institute of Building, or the Chartered Institute of Architectural Technology, or another profession or another professional body, which is Chartered Association of Building Engineers. So I suppose as time goes on you will find out more about those, but what a professional body is, it gives you a route into a profession. So basically the profession is the system or the organisation that will guide you through your career and support you throughout your career. And you can continue on when you finish your course in college, you continue on, you do further exams or interviews, or sometimes an assessment, or some form of graduating on to different levels within the profession to become chartered or further. So now I'll hand you over to my colleagues who are going to talk you through some of the courses available in the department.
My name is Rory McShane. I'm a lecturer in the School of Engineering in the Department of Civil Engineering and Construction, and I primarily teach on the Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Fire Safety Engineering. This is a 4-year honours programme. It's quite unique in Ireland in that we're the only third level institution providing an undergraduate level 8 honours qualification in the area of fire safety engineering. Fire safety engineering itself is actually quite a unique discipline. Unlike some of our counterparts, I suppose, like civil engineering, mechanical engineering, structural engineering that many of you may be more familiar with, fire safety engineering is quite a relatively new discipline. It's only really been around for possibly the last 30 years or so, which makes it quite niche in terms of both opportunities, and many of you may have at this stage heard on the news about big fire incidents of late, including the Grenfell tragedy in the UK recently, Priory Hall going back a couple of years ago, and that's really brought a much more detailed focus on the area of fire safety engineering, particularly at design stage and during construction of projects. The course is basically set out so that in the first 2 years of the course, we introduce students to the areas of construction technology primarily, so that they're familiar with methods of construction. They're introduced to things like introductory building services, quantity surveying in terms of costs associated with construction, construction technology, which is the different elements of building construction from foundation through to roof level, different types of floor constructions, wall constructions, and so on. They also cover things like land surveying. They would cover structures and materials, and they would be introduced to the softer skills such as AutoCAD and Revit in terms of drawings and so on, and the skills required for those. And then really in third year, after doing some introductory fire science in second year, we get into the fire safety engineering modules in particular. These are primarily concerned with introducing students to fire dynamics, which is really how fires grow and develop in buildings. Everything from flame heights to heat release, which we do on instruments like the cone calorimeter here. Flame heights, heat release, smoke production, visibility through smoke, the heat flux and temperatures and so on. We also introduce them to specific aspects of building regulations around the areas of fire safety design, and fire protection systems design, which is really all the systems that we put into buildings, from fire detection and alarm to emergency lighting, sprinklers, smoke control, and so on. And then in final year, in the fourth year of the program, the modules are concerned around the higher order fire engineering design, so looking at how we can design buildings much more efficiently. We get into the nice stuff like CFD modelling, which is 3D modelling of buildings, and looking at fire spread, smoke spread, toxicity of smoke, and building evacuation modelling, where we get 3D drawings of buildings, and we populate those buildings and we run the evacuation models to see how long it takes people to evacuate the building and whether they can do that before the conditions within the building become untenable. A key component of the course is really the work placement at the end of third year, which allows the students to I suppose, develop their skills in terms of all the material that they've absorbed during third year, and then they will go out into a consultancy practice or maybe the local fire authority, and they would get to apply some of that knowledge, see what the job is all about in terms of fire engineering consultancy, and then they come back in fourth year really to see out the end of the course. In terms of opportunities, which all students want to know about at the moment, we have graduates who work all over the world. We have some graduates working on the tallest building in the world out in Dubai at the moment. We have a number of graduates working on stadia for the World Cup in Qatar in 2022. And basically our graduates are primarily either in Ireland, the UK. We have had some go to the States and Canada. We've had a lot out in the Middle East. We've had students go to consultancies in Australia and particularly in New Zealand post the earthquakes there about 10 years ago. And there's a huge rebuilding program happening with lots of opportunities. Primarily the opportunities are in the area of consultancy work, but students have found opportunities in areas of research and development in terms of product development that are used as passive or active fire safety systems. They have found opportunities within local authorities and building control in terms of monitoring construction of works on behalf of the local authority. They've found opportunities in further research to both master's and PhD level. And so there's very broad range of opportunities, and those opportunities aren't all office-based. There's a lot of the work now is based on spending maybe half our time out on construction sites, monitoring the implementation of the fire strategy from a contractor side, and that's become really, really important since the introduction of recent legislation in Ireland in 2014 in particular. So there's great opportunities, a really, really interesting course with a diverse range of subjects that I think the students find really interesting. And then with, at the moment, endless opportunities at home and abroad for a very rewarding career in fire safety engineering.
So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about civil engineering, and it's, I suppose, at the core of what we do here in LYIT in the Department of Civil Engineering and Construction. Civil engineering is a very broad discipline, and it leads to a variety of different careers. I'm a civil engineer myself, and I worked as a structural engineer before going into academia. A degree in civil engineering leads to a broad variety of careers. I suppose people associate civil engineering with roads for a start, and that is one aspect that you could work in. You could work in roads, you could work in soils, you could work in water and wastewater, air pollution, water pollution, anything to do with the environment or the infrastructure that we see around us. That's one area, or one broad area of civil engineering. Another broad area is to do with materials and structures. So in other words, how we build buildings, how they stand up, what keeps them from falling over, what is the strength of a material and how is it best used. Another aspect of civil engineering that people are familiar with is you may see, for example, total stations you might see on the side of the road or when there's a building site. So a lot of it is to do with the measurement of, before we start to build anything, we have to measure what's there, and we have to measure it as we build and as we go along. So land surveying is a big feature of surveying as well. When you complete our 3-year civil engineering degree, you're qualified to work as a civil engineer with a level 7. So you could work, say, in a local authority environment, where you might be working in a lab, so you might be working in roads, as I said.
Hi, I'm Carol Dempsey, one of the architects that lectures into the honours degree in architectural technology at LYIT's Department of Civil Engineering and Construction. So I'm here today to run through the course and talk about the modules that we deliver in the programme and the career paths that are available to the graduates from this programme. So the programme that we offer at LYIT is an honours degree in architectural technology. It's 4 years in duration, and it contains an industrial placement year within the 3rd year of the programme. The programme is accredited by the Chartered Institute of Architectural Technologists, allowing our graduates to proceed to become chartered members of a professional body that's recognised around the world in the profession of architectural technology. The career in architectural technology allows you to join a design team for construction projects in which you become the specialist that allows architectural designs to become a reality. So if you have a passion for how things are made and you wish to work well in teams of creative people, this may be a pathway for you to use those skills and realise the next generation of buildings around the world. The course is predominantly studio-based learning, which means we work together in our dedicated studios, along with practicing architects, engineers and other discipline professionals, working on actual simulated projects, as well as leaving the studio to visit real live projects, and also integrating that with visiting specialists to complement that as well. This is run along with other disciplines within the department, so we get the opportunity to simulate real integration of disciplines within studio-based projects. Some of the modules that we explore are aimed to develop skills such as drawing, physical model making, digital model making, and creating virtual environments that are so important in the way that we design and construct buildings in this age, where we still require the drawing and modelling skills, but also that ability to create virtual environments and explore our design solutions through virtual gaming environments to test and to help realise the solutions that architectural technologists provide. We also get the opportunity to digitally print out samples of these designs for solving particular problems in buildings. We get to physically print them out and to test them and to analyse them and give feedback to the students. So architectural technology really is a specialist field, and it's evolving highly along with the construction industry to make an architectural technologist a much more sought after, recognised professional in the industry compared to what it may have been 20 or 30 years ago. So why choose a career in architectural technology? Well, if you feel that you've got strengths and interests in the areas of design, art, mathematics, engineering, then they're all skills that we develop through the programme and skills that will really make you stand out amongst the crowd when you graduate as an architectural technologist and enable you to make a real difference in the built environment. Those are areas that you will continue to develop through the programme as well, and with the industry, professionals will help to hone those skills that you have and develop skills that you mightn't have known that you had in those areas as well. The honours degree that we have developed now includes a placement year in year 3. So this offers a real advantage to graduates coming out of the programme with already 1 year's experience under their belt. So it creates the opportunity not only to have a more meaningful final year in the programme, but also to have a year on your CV that when you are coming out applying for jobs, you've got that industry experience, you've got the confidence, and you've got a portfolio built up through the programme and through the placement year. That placement year could be completed locally within Ireland or the UK, or there's opportunities to travel abroad, and through the work with the CIAT, the accredited body, they have a presence throughout the world and offers the opportunity to make contacts with practices, whether they're small or they're globally large practices. So a fantastic opportunity to develop your career during the programme and hit the ground running when you graduate.
So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about quantity surveying and what quantity surveying is. So firstly, I suppose people describe quantity surveyors as the accountants of the construction industry. So they're the people that keep a hold of the money and look after the finances and what a building's going to cost. But before you can work out what something's going to cost, you need to know what exactly it is and how you're going to measure what it costs. So in terms of knowing what exactly it is, quantity surveyors will study all of the construction technology, building services, all of the basic construction methods and fundamentals that the other students in the department or the other disciplines will know as well. So they'll study how to put a building together, how a building comes together, and then they will measure it and they will cost it. So measuring is a very practical skill where they apply agreed rules of measurement so that everybody all over the country or all over the world in some cases are applying the same rules. And from that then they will get their measurements and they will cost the building. Or it needn't necessarily be a building, it might be another structure. So quantity surveying is very popular. It's probably the most popular course we have at the moment, and I think a lot of what makes it popular is the fact that we have a full year's placement. Mind you, we also have that on architectural technology. So the students do year 1 and year 2 here with us, and then for year 3 they're out on placement for the whole year. But they are actually engaging with us a bit like what's going on at the moment online, so they're doing modules and assignments and assessments throughout the year online, as well as getting their work experience. And the students really appreciate that because it gives them a step in to look to a company. They get to know the company gets to know them, so that by the time they graduate they're very well prepared for working in the discipline. And sometimes they already have jobs with the company that they did their placements with. So another aspect of quantity surveying is you can travel anywhere with it. The course we have, the Level 8, is accredited by the Society of Chartered Surveyors Ireland, SCSI, and that's affiliated with the RICS, or the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, which is located, it's based in the UK, but it also applies all over the world, in Canada and the Middle East and Far East and various places. So with the qualification of an accredited degree, the student can go on. Firstly, they can do some further studies or while they're in the work placement and apply to become chartered after 2 years. So then they're chartered, and it's a worldwide recognition that they have after that. Okay, so we have 2 choices on the CAO for quantity surveying. We have a Level 7 and a Level 8, and both can ultimately lead to an honours degree in quantity surveying, because for the Level 7 you do a 3-year ordinary degree, after which then you can apply directly to join the Level 8 in the 4th year. So the placement year is the same, and the modules, the course that you study is the same for the 3 years. You're guaranteed, if you start off on the honours degree, that you progress straight through to 4th year, whereas with the level 7 you apply after 3rd year to join the 4th year of the honours degree. So that's essentially the difference.
Hello, I'm Eleanor Diver and I'm a lecturer on the Honours Level 8 Construction Management degree here at Letterkenny IT. I just want to tell you a little bit about the programme. It's a 4-year programme with an embedded work placement in year 3, and there's loads of exciting career prospects for graduates in construction management. You could work for main contractors on exciting building projects here in Ireland and across the world. You could work as a BIM manager, working in the technology and the design of buildings and the building elements. And our programme is accredited by the professional body, the CIOB, the Chartered Institute of Building, and that's recognised around the world. And graduates could work in Canada, Australia, UK, so it's a passport to working on construction projects around the world. Okay, so the 4-year programme starts with first year starting with construction technology and how a building is put together. Construction managers bring the whole team together, from architects to building services engineers to civil engineers, and they build the project once it's designed. So in first and second year you get the core subjects in the building technology, surveying. You'll start to do some measurement and how a building's measured and maybe the financial aspects of it. And then in the 3rd and 4th year you do a lot more project work, where you'll do construction management modules, where you look at the administration and the finance of a project, and you work in teams. You'll be doing a lot of 3D visualization and how a project can be planned in advance on a computer and sequenced. And then we're hoping then, obviously, when you graduate, you'll have the skills to manage complex projects and work within a team, problem solve, meet deadlines, plan your work and good time management. So it's a really broad technical degree that has, upon completion, you have an awful lot of skills that are applicable to the construction industry or to other industries, that are available to graduates with a level 8 degree. In work placements at Letterkenny IT, we work with lots of industries and companies that are Irish, but also have an international presence. So some of our students have been on work placement with BAM, which is a big civil engineering and building contractor across Europe. We've also have students who worked with CISC, and then more local contractors like Boyle Construction or Kevin Watson Group in Derry. So we have a range of regional and national contractors that our students would have a placement with. I think this programme is suitable actually for anybody, because if you have an interest in problem solving, working with others, having the satisfaction of building something, then construction management is something you should consider. It's not just for boys, it's for everybody. If you have skills in designing, you love using computers and working remotely, or there's an area of construction management that is suitable for you, be it office or on site. It's not just muddy boots and hard hats. So I want everybody to consider it. And I think that then, if you're interested in the idea of having a passport to travel, if you love the idea of project work around the country or around the world, it's a great degree to get.
Well, I hope you found that informative. I know there's a lot to remember and a lot to take in, but it's things that you can look up online. You can look up the different professions online. For more information, you can contact Schools Liaison or Fiona Kelly, fiona.kelly@lyit.ie.